Chapter 19. I decided to play along with them, to stall, to act as serious as they were. If they figure out that I'm not the commander, they'll do something horrible to me, I realized. I pictured the squirrel tail sliding down Wart's throat, and I started to gag. How can I get away from them? I wondered. As soon as I escaped, I could report them to someone, to anyone who would listen. Brenda, let me see those seeds, I said, trying to sound as if I were giving an order. My voice came out strong and steady, but my hand trembled as I reached for the bag. I took the bag and carefully unwrapped the twist tie on top. Then I raised the bag to my face, studied the seeds for a long time, and took a deep sniff. No, definitely not chocolate chips. The seeds had a faintly sour smell. Not terrible, but not sweet or chocolatey either. One for each kid, I murmured, eyeing them carefully. One seed for each. The four creeps nodded their purple heads. At least one for each student, Brenda said. That's all it would take to turn them all into creeps. She snapped her long rows of jagged teeth. It's not going to happen, I decided. No way. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to get help. I'm going to stop them. But first I have to get out of the woods. Well, we creeps will meet again soon, I said. I handed the seeds bag back to Brenda. We must all think of the best plan, and then we will call each other and pick a good time and meet again. I turned and took 2 steps toward the street, as far as I got. Wart's long bumpy tail wrapped around my neck. He turned me around by pulling me in with his tongue. But Commander, I have a good plan, he declared. Good, I said, trying not to gag again. I could still feel the wet, bumpy tongue on my skin. We will meet soon and talk about your plan. No, now, Wart insisted. Commander, we must talk now. We can put my plan into action tomorrow morning. Huh? Tomorrow? I gasped. I think we better wait a day. I started. You see, if we all wait, they eyed me suspiciously, their purple jaws open and closed. I turned back to Wart. What's your plan? He took a deep, wheezing breath and began. Tomorrow morning, we get to school very early. The lunchroom cooks all arrive early. They prepare lunch first thing in the morning. Yes, that gives the chocolate pudding plenty of time for the crust to harden, I joked. No one laughed. I've been studying the kitchen carefully, Ward continued. After the cooks set out the food in the morning, they take a 10-minute break. That's our chance. If we sneak in during their break, we can plant the seeds in the lunchroom food. Everyone eats in the lunchroom. It's a school rule, David chimed in. So every student will at least one seed. So every student will eat at least one seed. And by nighttime, they will no longer be humans. They will all be creeps like us. Jared added. What do you think of my plan? Will it work? Ward asked. They all stared at me, waiting for my answer. The plan sounds pretty good, I said finally. I rubbed my chin, pretending I was thinking hard about it. I will talk to you all tomorrow and let you know my decision. Their lizardy faces drooped with disappointment. Tomorrow? Ward cried happily. But we could do it tomorrow, Commander. We could plant the seeds, and by tomorrow night, I raised a hand to cut him off. Tomorrow, I said firmly. They were still grumbling to each other as I turned and hurried away. I expected one of them to grab me and pull me back, but this time they let me go. I edged through the opening in the evergreen shrubs, and I started to jog, between the bare trembling trees, across the street, and down the block toward my house. What am I going to do? I asked myself as I ran. I can't let them turn everyone in school into creeps. I can't let them drop their identity seeds in the lunchroom food. But how can I stop them? If I tell them not to do it, they will figure out that I'm not the commander. They will figure out that they made a mistake. And then what? What would it do to me if they find out I'm not a creep? Would it gobble me up the way that Wart swallowed that poor squirrel? My sides started to ache, but I kept running. I pictured all the kids in my school turning into bumpy, purple lizard creatures. I pictured them all in the woods, grabbing squirrels and swallowing them whole. I pictured us all slouching around, slapping high fives with our tongues. Yuck. What am I going to do? I asked myself out loud. I was the only one who knew about the creeps, and the only one who could stop them. And I had to act fast. 20 next time, peeps.